Welcome back to RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2018, brought to you by Redcon One. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest needs no introduction. He's a legend in our sport. He's the 8-time Mr. Olympia and our good friend, Ronnie Coleman. What's up?
Yo, what's going on?
Hey, Ronnie. Ronnie, you know, we got the big Mr. Olympia coming up this week. Obviously, Phil Heath going to try to tie your record and Lee Haney's record at 8 Mr. Olympias. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I want to get a little Ronnie Coleman update from you because I understand you're going into surgery again. What's going on with you? What happened?
Oh, the screws keep breaking. They put in. This is the 4th time they broke it. So we just got to replace them again. Every time they break, you got to replace them because they're holding fusion together.
Don't they know that you're the man of steel? They got to use something stronger than steel. They got to find like adamantium, like from the Wolverine.
Yeah, tell me about it. I wish they find something because I'm tired of being cut on. That's for sure.
What surgery number is this for you now?
10, number 10.
Wow, I thought we were stopping at 8. 8 Olympias, 8 children, 8 surgeries.
That would have been great. That would have been awesome. I don't know when it's going to stop now. So
now, Ronnie, have they ever seen anything like this, the doctors, of where someone's breaking screws so easily?
No. I'm the first one that's happened to.
Now, they have, obviously, what they've done is they've created these metal, endoskeletons around your spinal cord to support it, which are obviously held together with screws. So what's happening is the screws are breaking, I'm assuming, and then that cage is falling apart, and you're losing stability. Is that what's happening around your spine?
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
That's
and obviously
exactly
it's very painful.
Yeah, so they're replacing like 10 screws that's been in there since what? They last changed them out in March.
Wow. It's like going for an oil change with you.
Yeah, pretty much. I just hope they hold up this time, because I'm tired. Like I said, I'm tired of being cut on. This is my 10th surgery, and every last one of them they get worse and worse.
Yeah,
harder to deal with.
Yeah. Now, when they have to make the incision to get the screws out, do they have to make multiple incisions to find these things?
No, just one incision. They're all in the same spot, right? I think it's S1.
It's that low. Spine. I didn't realize it's that low.
Yeah. So.
Is that what's affecting your walking ability?
Huh?
Is that what's affecting your ability to walk properly?
Yeah. I mean, this has been going on for 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years that they've been putting screws in, and they just keep breaking over and over and over and over again.
Is there any negligence on their part? I mean, is there any liability, or is it just bad luck?
I don't know. I think there's a little negligence. There's got to be some kind, somewhere in there.
Right? I mean, come on.
I got friends that say that they've had screws in their backs and their wherever for like 20 years, and they've never broken.
Yeah.
But mine seemed to break right out of surgery. So they put them in, they break. The last time I rolled over, right out of surgery, and they snapped right there in the hospital.
Wow.
Right in the hospital.
Are you serious? See, Ronnie, they don't understand. They got to go watch. These doctors have to go watch your videos and watch you lift, and then they'll understand why the screws are breaking. You have natural strength to every part of your body. Just you moving it creates like more torque and twisting than any other human being they could ever imagine. That's why you were able to lift the weights you were.
Yeah, I wish they'd do something. I wish they'd figure out something. But like I said, this is getting to be devastating to me, basically.
Ronnie, what's the pain level like that you're living with on a daily basis now?
On a scale of 8 to 10, about an 8, 9, somewhere in there.
Not good. And that's with pain meds you're on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of pain meds do they have you on at this point? What dosages?
Well, they got me on like 3 different types. One is called Lyrica. One is called gabapentin.
Right.
One is like oxycodone, like 30 milligrams, somewhere in there.
Right.
The other ones are like 250 milligrams. 300 milligram, stuff like that.
So you're on some major pain meds.
Yeah, they seem to do the job though. They work pretty good.
Yeah.
So at least I got that going for me.
Yeah, I know, but I know you. You're the kind of guy that doesn't like to live on like pain meds like that. It probably drives you crazy.
I've never had to take anything before in my whole life until these screws started breaking on me.
Right.
I've been pain med free for my whole entire life until that happened. They put these screws in and they start breaking.
That's crazy. There's nothing else do they have any other strategies going into this 10th surgery that they figure, well, you know what? Because if you keep trying the same thing and it keeps breaking, obviously they got to do something different, right, this time?
Yeah, they said they're going to put in bigger screws.
which would seem logical, obviously, after the first time they broke, right?
Yeah, so, I don't know. It's frustrating. That's all I can say.
What's their prognosis, Ronnie, in terms of your ability to start walking normally, assuming these screws don't break this time?
That's what I'm saying. We got to find the prognosis. Probably going to be find some screws that won't break, so I can finally get back, on my feet. But I can't because the screws keep breaking. And like I say, you got to have those screws in there to hold the fusion together, because if you don't, the fusion goes bad, and that's you just in a world of trouble after that,
Now, what's going on with your foot, Ronnie? I noticed that you were wearing a brace that prevents like foot drop.
Yeah. That's from the screws breaking in. My right foot and my left foot and my right leg and left leg are totally numb almost. From those screws.
Yeah.
Being in there. So that brace just kind of helps the foot drop a little bit.
Right. Do they think that will improve? Obviously, assuming that the screws don't break and you start to heal?
No. They say that's going to always be that way. It's never going to get better.
Yeah.
It's going to always have a foot drop because they can't fix that.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, because that's permanent damage already there? That's been
done? That's permanent. Yeah. He said that's going to always be there. Just ain't nothing they can do about foot drop, Sure.
Now I see you in the gym.
Wow.
I see you in the gym doing upper body, and you're pretty aggressive in that gym. I see you lifting some weights, pretty aggressively. Do the doctors cringe when they see that?
No, because you got to do something, Dave. You can't just lay around for the most part. I like to just lay around and do nothing, but that makes it worse because either I have to do therapy,
right,
and I can do therapy until the insurance quit paying, and then once that happens, then I just go to the gym and do my own therapy, basically. So I can do upper body and lower body. It's just my legs are not as strong as they used to be.
Right.
Because of all the numbness and the weakness in there from screws being in there holding the fusion together, and for the most part because they keep breaking, it's kind of hard to get my strength back.
Sure. Now
they've been breaking for the last 4 years now.
Do you think that the lifting has anything to do with that, with the breaking possibly? Obviously, the one you broke in the hospital.
Remember the breaking occurs right after surgery.
Gotcha.
I didn't even go to the gym. I didn't even go to therapy. They broke in the hospital. And then the next time they broke in therapy, I didn't even go to the gym. I've never gone to the gym and had them to break.
Oh, wow.
At least that I can tell anyway.
Well, why would they just go back in there and fix it?
Huh?
Why wouldn't they just go fix it right away as soon as they broke?
Oh, they got to get approved and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Take time to get the surgery approved.
You're the greatest inspiration to people. I'll tell you why. Because you still have a positive, maybe not at home, maybe you don't. On your videos, you still have a very positive outlook on what you're doing. You try to focus on what you can do and not what you can't do. And I think that's important. And that really tells a big story to people, because a lot of people would be bitter. They'd be walking around cursing and everything like that. Hey, you're like, you know what? This is what I can do. I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to fix whatever that can be fixed. And that to me is a great mental attitude because you know what? I had to get a shoulder replacement. I need another one. I had a quad that I tore 4 years ago. It's still torn, keeps re-tearing. So I understand your frustrations. Obviously, I'm not in the pain you are. But you got to focus on the positive because if you don't, it destroys you. And I commend you for doing that. And I commend you for sending a good message out to people out there that, hey, just because things aren't going the way you have planned, the big guy up there has a bigger plan for us, and you got to just focus on what you can do.
Exactly. That's the way I've always looked at it.
Yeah.
Way I've always looked at it.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about bodybuilding history now, because Phil Heath is trying to edge in on your club that you got with Lee Haney there for 8 Mr. Olympia wins. Do you think he'll accomplish it this year?
Yeah, I think so, because you know, if you go back and look at how the shows have gone, he pretty much had a fairly easy route, you know, with not a whole lot of competition, you know. I mean, if he just gets himself together, it's all about him coming in shape and being on point, you know.
Sure.
I think if he does that, he'll probably tie it easily. But you know, if he kind of slacks off like he's been doing the last couple of years, then I don't think it'll happen.
Really? Who do you think could beat him? Who out there do you think has the ability to take out Phil Heath?
Yeah, therein lies the problem.
There's not that many people there, right?
Yeah, there's not a lot of people out there who's giving him a lot of competition. You know, the last couple of years has come from people like Dexter Jackson, Sean Roden, and Big Ramy. Right. But for the most part, you know, is that he's been kind of off, and that's where they've been able to get give him problem. But gotcha. I think if he gets it together and pulls it all together and comes in like in great shape, you know, he'll probably just breeze through and not have any major competition.
Now, Ronnie, when you were competing and you were winning Olympias, you were annihilating people. Also, you had Jay Cutler constantly pushing you, which made you want to be better and better. Obviously, that was a high level of competition. But when you won, it was like unanimous, straight first. There was no one was debating anything. Phil just seems to squeak by a lot of times each year. He's still winning, obviously, but he's squeaking by. Yeah. At the end of the day, though, 8 Olympias is 8 Olympias. Do you think that when you have to look back and we have to evaluate Phil's career, assuming he never does another Olympia after the 8 one, which he probably will, but let's just say he doesn't, are those 8 Olympia wins just as valid as yours? Because even though... Yeah?
Yeah, I think so, because once you win it, you won it. You can't take it away from him.
Right. So no one's going to go back and say, well, Phil just barely won those Olympias. They're going to say he was a Mr. Olympia 8 times, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I said, too.
A win is a win is a win, you know.
Right. It's hard enough to get the win.
That's what it all boils down to. Who won and who lost.
Do you think that number 9 is cursed? It seems like no one's been able to get 9. You failed twice at getting number 9. You think Phil will have a...
I don't think so. You know, I think I was the only one that tried it, you know.
That's true.
Of course, it didn't happen for me, but I think, you know, if Phil tries it and, you know, pulls it off, it'll be because, you know, he was in great shape and competition didn't step up and challenge him and take it away from him.
Right. And he was younger than you were, too. A lot of people don't realize, they forget.
Yeah.
You started a lot later. How old were you when you won number 8?
I was 41, 42.
Yeah, you were older. So by the time you were going for number 9, you were like 43. I mean, Phil is way younger than that. So you really were working against Father Time at that point, you know.
No. I think for the most part, the injuries probably caught up with me more than Father Time, because if you look at Dexter and all these guys competing today, you know, Father Time ain't really caught up with them. He's caught up with them. And then you got the past people like, I think his name, Abel Beckles, you know, he also competed well into his 50s and almost his 60s.
True.
That he was winning shows at 60 years old, you know, so
But no one was as big as you, Ronnie. Those guys were much smaller than you. I think that the big guys don't age as well in bodybuilding because carrying all that weight definitely is a much bigger strain on your body, don't you think?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just think that you don't see many humongous guys last that long. Now, speaking of humongous guys, Big Ronnie is the only guy really in the Olympia lineup that kind of reminds me of the old days, the big guys, Coleman, Cutler, Dorian. What does this guy got to do? What do you think he's not doing right that preventing him from winning?
Once he gets his symmetry together and get that muscle maturity behind, he's still pretty. I think he's in his 20s, early 20s,
or early, maybe early 30, maybe like 30 years old, something like that. Right?
Is he 30? I thought he was in his 20s.
He might be 30. Yeah, he might be. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Time flies, Ron.
Yeah. Well,
we're old.
It's right around the corner then. I thought he was in his late 20s. Because I know, I won my first one at 34. Right. Lee won his last one at 31, somewhere in there.
Yeah, he was a freak, though. The guys weren't that big either then.
Actually, Lee was probably in his early 20s when he started winning, too.
Right.
So
right.
I guess it all has to do with, maturity when the body actually matures. Because I don't really see that happening with him right now. But he's on his probably like third or fourth Olympia or whatever.
Sure.
It's going to happen real soon. So I think once that happens, once he get his symmetry together, he'll be winning. He'll be hard to beat too.
What would you like to see Ronnie improve symmetry wise? What do you think is off on him?
Yeah, I remember when I was there. My arms kept outgrowing my legs, and I had to quit training arms for a while.
Did you really?
For him, it's the opposite. His legs is outgrowing his arms and the rest of his body. So I think once the rest of his body catches up with his legs,
right,
then his symmetry will be on point. But who knows when that's going to happen? And
right.
You have to work on these things. They don't just work themselves out. Like I said, with me, I had to start training legs like twice a week and start doing a whole lot of squats and a whole lot of heavy stuff.
You also did 3 hours. You would do 2 hours of cardio a day too, Ronnie, didn't you? 2.5 hours.
I did about 2 hours, of cardio a day, but that was, after I got the size and stuff.
Right, but I bet but Ronnie's got the size. I bet you he doesn't do that much cardio. You think he's not dieting hard enough?
I don't really know. It's kind of hard to say. Everybody's body's different. Because I remember, I think Dexter was saying one time that he never did any cardio whatsoever.
Yeah.
And he still had, great shape, great condition, and everything. So I think it depends on the person.
Right.
Once you figure out what works best for you, that's going to be the best formula.
I think an hour of your cardio you had to do every day was just to burn off the Masterpiece barbecue sauce you ate. That was my theory. I think you really only needed an hour a day if you would have stopped the Masterpiece.
I do know that when I used to do like an hour a day, I wasn't really that good. But once I kicked it up to the next level, it made a whole lot of sense, and I got a whole lot of my conditioning came in a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Once I kicked my cardio up to like a whole another whole hour. I actually had to double it.
If I was Chad, I would have just pulled the barbecue sauce out. We would have fucking been fine. You could have stuck it in an hour.
I did that. I pulled that out at one year, and it didn't really make a big difference. It actually didn't change at all.
Ronnie looked better with the barbecue sauce. Maybe that was the secret.
I took the barbecue sauce out and ketchup out completely, and it didn't change nothing. My condition pretty much was the same. So I found out that it wasn't the sauce that was making me.
You destroyed more people's bodybuilding careers with that barbecue sauce because everyone thought that was the secret. Everyone was doing barbecue sauce. No one got in shape after that because the sugar content. Only you could burn all that barbecue sauce off.
No, I don't. No, that ain't that. It wasn't sauce. It just, just being in great condition and coming in great condition and doing everything I needed to do. Basically, that's what it was.
Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman versus Phil Heath. Phil at his best.
Well, you got two different body types. I'm a lot bigger than Phil.
Right.
Phil probably like Lee Haney size. I'm 50 pounds heavier, so I'm a much bigger guy. In a totally different era.
What year do you think was your worst year? Which year was the worst that you looked?
02? I had a problem in 2001 when I tried to do 2 shows.
Right.
I think that's the hardest year ever for me because I couldn't get my body to do anything after I peaked at that Arnold.
Sure.
When I tried to get ready for the Olympia, it wouldn't change hardly at all.
Right.
I mean, it was just the hardest thing that I'd ever done in my whole entire life. I actually was going to the hospital the morning of the show.
Oh, really?
Was
Why?
talked out of it by Chad. And I ended up just drinking a gallon of water to bring get myself out of bed, actually.
Wow, I didn't know we knew that.
I was so
I never knew that.
dehydrated.
Yeah.
I didn't know being that dehydrated could make you feel like you was going to die.
The funny thing was you looked pretty good. You didn't look bad in 01.
That's exactly what I felt like.
You felt terrible.
Huh?
You really looked pretty good in 01. You weren't terrible in 01. I thought you were good. I mean, Jay was great in 01, but you were not bad in 01.
Yeah, that was the hardest year for me. That was definitely the hardest year ever. Because, like I said, I was going to the hospital that morning. Cause I didn't know you could feel that bad.
Yeah.
Getting ready for a show anyway.
Yeah.
And I never tried to do 2 shows again.
I know. I noticed after that. But you know what?
I learned the hard way. The body peaks once a year, and that's it.
Yeah. No, you at least you got the Arnold title and you got that Hummer, so that was good. I know you wanted that Hummer.
Yeah. That was good to do that show, and most people say that's the best shape ever, but I had to pay for it the hard way.
Of course. Now, let's take the 01 Coleman and put him up against the best Phil Heath. I don't know what year that would be, but whatever the year Phil was his best, would he have a shot at beating you?
Oh yeah, he probably beat me really down on that Olympia stage.
Okay.
But even Jay had to even beat me that morning.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he did win the pre-judge.
It's like the whole day for me to get my body back to being in great shape.
What did you guys do? What did you and Chad do over the course of that space of time from pre-judging to finals?
I think, for the most part, it was just a whole lot of diuretics, trying to get that water off me,
Yeah.
I don't know what they was using because it was always powder form.
It was unmarked bottles, right?
It was a homemade type diuretic or whatever, but for what I could see, it was some powder form of diuretic that he was giving me to get all that water off me.
And it worked, obviously, right?
It worked. It finally worked because it didn't do anything for the morning.
Well, you said you drank a gallon of water. He must have had a nervous breakdown, Chad, when he heard that.
Well, I had to drink a gallon just to get out of bed, because like I said, I couldn't even get out of bed that morning because I was so dehydrated.
Yeah.
And once I got that water in me, I was able to get up, but I had to get up and go do the show with a gallon of water on me.
Yeah, no, exactly. Not the
that ain't good. That ain't good for bodybuilding. That was the only time I've ever had to do that. Other times, it was no water.
Right.
The morning of the show, and the night before the show. But this morning I had to drink a whole gallon. Just to get out of bed and get on stage.
Yeah. I'm going to give you one more virtual pose down. Lee Haney at his best, I think, which was probably his last year. Ronnie Coleman at his best, which I think is 03 for you, but you might disagree. And Phil Heath at his best. Who wins?
Shoot, I might have given probably me the nod.
I give it to you too, Ronnie. So that makes two of us. Hey, Ronnie, best of luck. When's the surgery?
Wednesday.
Okay, best of luck. I guess you won't be at the Olympia this year then? Obviously, you'll be
No,
recovering.
I'll be in the hospital for at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, well, look, good luck with the surgery. You know, the fans out there love you. The press loves you. We all want to send our love, our prayers, our best wishes. Let's make this surgery your last surgery. Let's get this done right. And we want to see Ronnie Coleman out of pain and feeling good again so we can be at the shows and doing what you want to do and doing what you love.
All right, sounds good to me.
All right, Ronnie, thanks so much. And we'll be in touch and we'll get an update from you. Once again, best of luck with the surgery.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave.
All right, and that's going to take us to the end of another episode of RX Muscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2018. Brought to you by Redcon One. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.